Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a watch launched in 2018. And to discuss this watch, we must give it a name. It is the Vacheron Constantin Traditionnelle Complete Calendar. Truth be told, it's more than that, as it also includes a moon phase. The watch is 41 millimeters in diameter in rose gold, 10.7 millimeters thick and from lug tip to lug tip, 48.3 millimeters with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll put this watch on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, and you get a sense of how it wears. It is large for a dress watch. I recommend your wrist be at least 15 centimeters circumference before wearing this watch. So as dress watches go, it is quite large. However, it is not terribly thick. It will slide underneath a dress cuff, so it does what a dress watch must. The strap itself is high grade, large rectangular scale alligator leather, matte finish, dark brown. And you can see that the scales are particularly symmetrical, which means being large scale and symmetrical scale, it was an expensive cut of alligator leather. You can see we have a monotone stitch, a sheer cut side showing the layers of leather, calf skin on the bottom, and you can see it is a brand new Vacheron factory strap. A simple Maltese cross-style rose gold pin buckle featuring the logo of the company, which you can also see on the dial and also on the crown. The case is remarkably strong in profile. You can see the lugs likely welded on, because that sharp break between case band and lug profile generally is accomplished by sticking a lug into a slot in the case, welding them together, and then removing by hand evidence of the weld itself. So this is a very slow but upscale way of making a case. It's the old school way of making a case. You can see the case back is stepped inward to make the watch look thinner when it's on the wrist. And then we have an inward step and an upward flange, so a little bit of a articulation of the case band to make it look thinner than it is. And you can see that the crown itself sits somewhat below the centers of the pusher adjusters for the calendar. So the base is the tractor movement automatic, and then the calendar complication sits on top of that, which is why the centers for the calendar pusher adjusters sit a little bit higher on the case than the crown. The dial, it's what would be described as opaline, or a very subtle frosted silver. Outboard, you can see we have a track for the lunette style date indicator, and you can see that is blackened. We have a track for reading the minutes, which is a sort of satin silver. You'll note that the center dial features opaline with apertures that are stepped for the day and the month. Then we have a moon phase / moon age display. All of the individual indices are applique, and they are satinated on their tops, and then they're beautifully faceted on their edges. The tops are actually, you can take a look there. They're very lightly polished, designed to contrast with the super bright bevels on their edge. The hands at center, however, are more obviously half frosted. So the Dauphine style hands are half frosted to make for better contrast against the dial base. Then we have a special double index up at 12 o'clock, and we have a Lancet style counterweighted seconds hand. The watch does include a hacking seconds function, though if you want to adjust the calendar, you're going to use the pusher adjusters on the side of the case. Turning it all over, you can see it is a manufacturer caliber 2460 base. So this right here is the caliber 2460 QCL, so the 2460/1 QCL, which just means it is a complete calendar with a moon phase. Now we have a beautifully decorated 22 karat rotor here. 22 carats, I always like to emphasize with Vacheron, it's 22, not 21, not 18, not rose gold plated tungsten. They give you the good stuff. There are 4 individually applied hand finishings on the rotor alone. The movement's an automatic winder with ceramic bearings for low friction and low maintenance. It beats away at 4 hertz. It does feature a stop seconds function, which you saw on the other side, a 40-hour power reserve. It pivots on 27 joules, and it is adjusted in a high horology and chronometer standard 5 positions. 5 is the standard for chronometers and high horology watches. The Geneva hallmark on the movement and the case. It's now a full watch standard since 2012, attesting to the quality of the materials, the fit, and the finish of the whole watch. The movement's nicely decorated. The first thing I'll call your attention to is always that the bevels are mirrored. You don't get this on most AP watches these days, certainly no AP watches in this price point. The bridges are started mechanically, but the bevel is finished manually, which is important to achieve that mirrored shine. All screw heads are black polished. Their slots and circumference chamfered. You can see engine turning in 2 different sizes, per lage and two different sizes on the base plate. Black polish to the stud holder and regulator for the balance. Satination on the wheels, and you can see, move that rotor out of the way. We have satination on the wheels. It is a unidirectional winder, in case you're wondering why it freewheels so readily in one direction. Satination on the wheels. Then we have solarization on the ratchet wheel atop the barrel. And then we have solarization on the barrel itself. So it's very nicely decorated with lovely abrasive wheel applied Cote de Genève across the bridges. And all of this 30 meters water resistant. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.